So last night we were on date night and we started talking about the things that have become second nature for us that wasn't necessarily, especially when he started dating plus size women, and when I started dating as a plus size woman, that wasn't necessarily known. And so we're going to share with you what we know. And the first topic is going to be
seating. When you're on a date, seating. So what I do when I look for a place, for a new place, I like to go on Yelp, Google, on the Google Maps. Just look through the pictures, look at the chairs, look at what are the options. If they're flimsy plastic chairs, you don't want that.
It's not
chairs with arms, not the best. A booth that the table is anchored down, and you could tell it's going to be too tight of a fit, it's going to be uncomfortable. That is something we try to stay away from. And which the booth thing is kind of harder to see in pictures, but you could always call.
I like to call.
You could call.
I'm a huge advocate of calling because it is just that, avocation. When it's no secret that the world is not set up for people of size, right? So it is uncomfortable when you first approach the subject with someone. At least for me it was, to start that dialogue. But the great thing about that is when you surface this to a host or whatever the case, you're kind of advocating not just for yourself in that moment, but for the next person of size. Because that experience, they can take the knowledge and that you've given them and apply it to the next person. And then that makes it just a more fat-friendly experience for everyone around the situation. And it can also possibly spark changes because restaurants sometimes change their seatings. Maybe they'll think twice about having a chair with arms or anchoring a booth. Speaking of booths, what's really great is if you have two different options. You have various options sometimes. He always just asks me, like, what do I prefer? Because more than likely, his comfort probably is not going to change too much between a chair and a booth. For me, I like the support of the booth. I like to spread out, like thighs, hips, they got plenty of room. And it's become very seamless where he just pulls the booth out, I slide in, he pushes the booth back, and it's like customizable in that sense.
And what happened last night is it was a booth chair situation, which I asked her right away. The chair looked like it could have worked.
Okay.
It was okay. So I asked her, "Would you prefer?" She said the booth. So I pulled the table. She sat down, pushed it back in, and we sat down and had a comfortable meal. So it's a conversation you need to have with your partner, and just to be aware as when you're a mixed weight couple, right?
Yeah,
As
mixed weight couple. Yeah, that's us. Two different weights together, mixed.
Yeah, it's just being aware of your surroundings and
having these conversations, not just with the host
with your partner
of the restaurant, but with your partner. If you're dating, you can have that conversation, because if you get any pushback from the person you're dating or the establishment you're going to, it's probably not something that you want in your space anyways. And if you're uncomfortable with having these conversations, because I was uncomfortable at first, there's a lot of places, if you make reservations, you can put it on the notes. Like One Table, I know that's a pretty popular one. They have a note section. Sometimes calling ahead is easier. There's been times where if it's local, there's a new spot, he'll go and check it out. Like, he knows for the most part what I'm looking for.
A little recon mission.
Yeah, and sometimes the conversations, if you're not a person of size, are easier to have than if you are. So, I mean, it's just a conversation to have, because I don't know about you guys, but our memories are important, and I don't want to do something if I'm not comfortable, and we have the right to take up space. So learning how to navigate these things and then making them second nature, in my opinion, is the way to go. So hopefully this helped.
Hopefully.
And tell us your tips and tricks. Let us know what you do. And
comment, subscribe, share it.
Because
We want to hear from you.
Yeah,
we want to hear from you. See if there's something we forgot, something you want to know our opinion on. we're here to share.
Yeah, let us advocate for you. Let's get the conversation going. Bye.